Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome to my channel, Star Parade. My name is Michael, and today I present you a little bonus video. I changed a little bit. I changed the angle a little bit, and I am filming this during the day. So, yay! I guess the lighting should be a little bit better here, and I switch on all my lights that I have currently. Maybe I should buy a little bit better, like a face lamp or something to light me a little bit better. Because I'm usually filming at night on Sunday evening, but today is a Thursday. Um, Today is, I'm not sure which day, but it's end of the month pretty much. I think 27th sounds about right. 27th of February, and I changed the angle. Normally I'm filming just over there on the floor, but I decided to move to my hammock because it's more comfortable like that. And yes, I do have a hammock in my room. It's my guest room, so yeah. My living room per se. So I wanted to film something different a little bit because I decided that maybe I think someone might be interested in my videos that not only featuring cross-stitching but also other forms of arts that I did or do or planning to do in the future and did in the past. But we'll see. Maybe if you don't like it, that's fine. It's just an idea, just to try something else. So, as you probably noticed from the title of the video, we'll be reviewing my very first sketchbook. This is the only sketchbook that I completed. I started it apparently in 2018, but I wasn't filling up many pages back then, and I completed it on the 16th of July last year. So I have a new sketchbook that I filled up a few pages already, but I have a massive break from painting and watercolor because I really like to use watercolor and also acrylics. I never do oil painting because that requires too much time while drying, and that requires too much setup, too much things to utilize properly after that. And you know, you cannot wash down the paints in your sink. You have to, dispose them properly, especially white. The set that I've been given of oil paints, only one is very harmful to the environment, and it's white. I don't know why, and I don't know what it contains, but I never opened the paints, so they are still in the box. They're like a budget paints, not really interesting. Or well, if you like, I might post a picture on my Instagram, which should be down below, if I didn't forget to to link it. So yeah. So when did I started painting? I started painting in 2018. I bought a very simple watercolor set. I'm not even sure if you can call it watercolors, but I bought it in my local hobby store, and I bought this sketchbook along with some poster cards, I guess, like A5 cards, watercolor paper, just to try it out because I was really interested. Why I decided to start off with watercolor painting instead of acrylics, like I think most people would suggest doing, because I like a little bit of more challenge, and I like the finish of watercolors that is very subtle, that is very timid, and the amount of techniques that you can use is astonishing. You can do wet on wet, you can do wet on dry, you can do dry on wet or dry on dry. Well, the mm, the possibilities are very, very broad. Also, the skill ceiling for watercolors is very, very high, and the entrance level, that entrance ceiling is also very very high. So the first painting that I ever did in my sketchbook was done without any preparation, without any knowledge about the medium. It was just like trying out what have I got and how can I work that with. I just watched some videos of people, you know, swatching some uh, different watercolor sets, and I thought, I will buy this little set and use it. I still have it today. I'll show it to you. Everything that I use pretty much, it's in this little brown bag that I got from work. They wanted to throw it away, and I thought, oh, this looks like a fantastic travel bag for my painting. So I took it. It has a nice zipper. It's YKK zipper, so it's a good quality leather bag. I don't know why they wanted to throw this bad boy away, but I still have my paint set. So this is the Duarant Inktense set. As you can see, it's seen a little bit of use over time. So yeah, these are the colors that come with it. And it's sun yellow, mango, poppy red, dark plum. What else we've got? Mild ultramarine, bright blue, teal green, racing green for some reason, kiwi, burnt yellow ochre, natural brown, and ink black. I decided that this had to be a little bit expanded for my liking, and decided to buy like Chinese white, which I used a little bit, but ultimately you don't need that. You really don't need a white paint. You have little, little brush that comes with it, and I used it a few times, but not as often as I would like. And the paint seen some use. You have a little sponge here, a little tray that keep my white paint, Chinese white, in it, and a little mixing area here. So I don't know if you ever used a watercolor brush, but basically it has a little water reservoir, and you take this little cap off and you screw the brush in like that, and bam, you have a brush. You can mix your paints. It doesn't have a fine tip, so this is like a very I don't know if it's even a travel friendly brush, because I used it once or twice and stopped. Never used it after. So yeah, this is my little set of paints which I used. So yeah, and what else is in my bag, you probably are wondering, because of course you are, why not? So let me take out everything and put it aside. I've got the silica gel. I keep it here just to capture like moisture or whatnot, to keep my stuff dry. I have an eraser. I have a spare erasers for my little pencil here, which I sketch with. I first do the pencil sketches, and this is a really nice metal 0.5 millimeter Duarant Precision automatic pencil. I really like it. And on the tip of the pencil you've got a little eraser here, and you can obviously swap them with the spares here. Let me just throw that back here. Oh, everything is falling. I've got little washi tape that I like to cut off the area that I'm painting of. This is not a good washi tape, so it was like cheap, £1 for set of 3. Next time I would probably I will definitely buy something better and something more expensive, something worthy, because this washi tape tends to lose the grip on the paper, and the water just scoops underneath it, and it just makes a huge mess. So I've got 0.5 black fine liner, because I like to do my line work. White Posca pen. It's white pen if I want to do some white speckles on my painting, like stars or something to show that there's some reflections on objects. I have two gray 0.5 fine liners with different gray pigment, I would say, and extra one with 0.1 millimeter nib. This is just very fine nib. I never use them, I usually use plain black, but I bought this set because they had like the little brush set, so the nib of this is very flexible, so it allows you to do some brush strokes with the fine liner, which is really nice. I've got my spare lead. It's HB lead. It has some use. Oh my gosh, why it's so... It looks like something bit it. For some reason, it wasn't me. I've got 3 water pans, which are great if you're traveling. Number 1 is like this little thin one that is really good with putting on details. And number 2 is a little bit bigger, round brush to cover larger areas. And number 3 is like very flat. So if you need to do some thin lines and or do the wider brush strokes, you can use this. I used all of them and they're pretty good, but I think that they're better on the market at the moment, but I'm not complaining. Another 2 pans, they are pure black 0.1 and 0.3 black fine liners, and my little Dwarand Intense set. Everything goes here, and if I want to paint on the go, which I did once paint on the beach side, and I have this painting on my sketchbook, so I can show it off. I'm very excited. So yeah, I can. So before we go to the main dish, which is this little sketchbook, I want to say something about this sketchbook. This is what kind of sketchbook is that? I think that is a watercolor sketchbook, like, or mixed media. It's Sea White sketchbook made in Great Britain. I think this is a mixed media, actually. I should have bought watercolor one, but the watercolor sketchbook is a little bit more expensive because it has thicker paper, so it doesn't warp. Because if you put water on your paper without preparing the paper beforehand, like professionals do, paper will just warp and do the little pools and puddles, and the water collects there. So using this on the go, it is quite tricky. As you can see, there's some page warpage, like it always will be. So it is quite different than the studio painting, because you don't use as much water, you don't do as much wet on wet per se. You try to avoid it and do the wet on dry usually to paint your stuff. So after that, after I was happy and thought that this little set of paints is not enough, I bought something that I can paint at home with. So I can just bend over here. I bought this big ass Schminke set. It has a little piece to put your finger under it, so you can technically use it and paint with it on the go. But I use it only in my apartment, in my house, because this was apparently, I think I paid for like £90 or something for like this beautiful paint set. Let me just show you. So these are very high-end professional watercolors, and the colors are very saturated. They're very beautiful in hands of person that know what they're doing, and I do not know what I'm doing with this, but I really like and enjoy using it. I'm not a professional by any means, but I wanted to invest in it because I thought I will enjoy painting in the future and I will paint a lot, which currently I'm not. But my holiday is coming through on 15th of March, so I will not be taking this big bag boy, but I will be taking my brown bag for sure and try to do some urban sketching because this is what I'm really interested in, to sketch some buildings, some landscapes and things that I see in my own eyes, and just sit there and open up my sketchbook and just do a page or two or half of the page, or do even sketch to snap a picture and finish that in home, because I had to do that a few times, or I didn't have enough time to sit down and paint. So I did took a picture and came home, and the next day I was just painting this little scenery that I saw. So yeah, and that's that. So after this sketchbook, I wanted to invest in something better. So this is the normal paper sketchbook with thicker pages. It's used for mixed media, but I bought this bad boy. This is a Koval sketchbook. It's from Polish company. I'm so proud. It was 45 pounds for this sketchbook, but the page, you might think, oh my gosh, what this is made of, from gold? Why it's so expensive? Well, it is so expensive because it's 100% cotton paper. So this is not like typical paper from the tree. It's 100% cotton, and it has really nice band to keep it all together. And I started it on the 20th of July. Yeah, and so far I'm pretty happy of it. The binding is very nice. I like this little cutout edge over here. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, I think you do. So yeah, I'm using this at the moment, and I really enjoy it, and I will probably buy from them in the future, because I don't use it as I will not use it up as quickly as most people do. So I don't feel bad for buying it, because it will last me probably a year or two. So if you divide the price of the sketchbook, divided with the years that you are, or not years, the days that you've been using it, the price is very approachable, in my opinion. Although you don't have to buy something like that. You can buy this like £8 sketchbook and buy like 4 or 5 of them throughout the year, and you'll be golden. You don't have to start off with something big like that. So yeah, that was mumbling about sketchbooks and paints, and I haven't even shown you what I am painting with. I don't know if I'll make any more bonus videos like that of with painting, because that'll mean that I'll have to do some painting. Maybe after March my new sketchbook will see some light of the day. I will show you my brushes that I use at home. It seems that there's quite a lot of them, but the blue little ribbon end brushes are used for watercolors, white ones, and this yellow one are used usually for acrylics. There's also this one, which actually I don't know what I use it for, but it's blue. And I have this little these are my favorite. These are round Princeton Neptune brushes. I have 2, I guess. I thought I have 2. Yeah, I have 2 Princeton Neptune, and I love them because they hold water really well. They're synthetic. They are not animal related products. I wanted to get one that there's mixed with squirrel fur and some synthetic, so it is still very snappy, but it also holds water amazingly. So these are my favorite brushes for watercoloring. I really love them, and there's some of them are not even opened, like this one, this number 8, and this broad fan brush. It was a present that I got. I really appreciate it, but I never have used them, because I never have used most of the brushes. I've been given like a set of watercolor brushes, and I was so happy to get them, but I never used them, solely because most of them are too big for the work that I do. Like this fan brush I will probably never use in my life, but who knows. It is so big. It is too big. Like this 11 1.5 inch brush. It's just too big. I will never use it. But shh, don't tell the person that bought it to me. I still enjoy them and I adore them. Yeah, and I've got these silicone brushes here. These are for the masking tape, masking fluid that I use. So if I want to specifically block some area within the painting that I don't want any paint on it, I use the masking fluid and it just rubs off. I apply it with those little silicone pens, brushes, because it's easier, and I don't feel bad for ruining one of my brushes. And yeah, after you finish your painting, you just scrape that thing out, and the page is very, untacked underneath, and it doesn't scrape the paper. So these are very, very good. And this is like this is the mug that I got it on not last year, 2019 Secret Santa, and I really like it. I decided to use it as my brush holder. Uh, but this is like a typical, travel mug that you put on a little stove, and you can cook. You can prepare some water. Um, do not microwave. It's metal. So yeah, you can prepare some little tea on the stove, because I also like camping, and I don't do it often, but when I do, I'm enjoying every second of it. And I wish that I could do some camping, but I do not own a car, and leaving by train is currently a big no-no. And leaving the area is, you can get fine. You can get fined for leaving the area, and it's risky to travel, even if you are doing something like while I enjoy wild camping, so no one is around. I enjoy my own company. Take a little book with me, and basically big sign, do not disturb. But it is, I might get in trouble if I try to do it. Yeah. Okay, so let's go to the main dish of the of this video, like 22 minutes in. Great. So this sketchbook, it's my first sketchbook. I even put the number 1, sketchbook 1 on it. So I started it in 2018, and I will show you the very first painting that I did with my little paint set. Well, this is not a painting. It was a swatch. I wanted to see how the colors look like on paper and what can I do with it. And I did swatch them. They are really nice. They are very, very, very bright, very saturated, and I was really happy with the outcome with my purchase. I was like, yay, they look pretty nice, and let me just try to paint something with them. So the very first painting that I did is this little landscape, and as you can see, it's very, very bad. Like, what I am happy with this little patches of strands of grass or weed that I painted. I think this is, and I'm quite happy with the sky, but everything else, it didn't turn out really nice. It didn't turn out great. Moving on. So the very next painting I'm quite proud of, because I've been to Foxton with my friends. It was, I think, in 2018. And we've been on, this is Foxton. This is a really nice little town in England, and they have this boat lift. I'm not sure how is it called professionally, but if you are living on a boat, like those long boats that you can live on the river, they have like little lift that, if you, basically it's like a chamber. You get your boat inside, and the gate closes behind you, and the water starts. They're starting to pour water in it, so the boat goes up until the edge of the first gate, and the second gate just lifts up, and the boat can go further, and it comes to the next section. So the gate goes down, they pour water in and it goes up. It's just lifting the boat bit by bit, and it's really cool to see. I was really excited, so I decided to paint this little town, and I'm quite happy with it. As you can see, I managed to put a few details. I put one person like driving the boat because I snapped a little picture over there. I did a lot of photos over there, but I chosen this one to paint it, and I really like it. I like the details. I liked the sky is could be better, to be fair, but I like the little buildings and the little trees, and how it's quite simple, but yet I put a lot of work in it and details, like little post boxes. No, it's a trash bin, like little AC unit that is outside, and the little boat here, and I really like it. It was a nice project to work on, and these are actually, I left some blank space with the color of the paper. I was really happy with it. It was fun thing to paint, and I didn't cut out any edges on this. Just use the whole page. Next is done a little bit of mountains. I did a little bit mountainside. This is like wintry mountains. I think I found a stock photo on the internet, because I use usually free photos, because about it's not considered as something good if you paint something that is someone's. Of course, you can ask for permission, and if they agree, you can do that. So yeah, I did that. There's few little hikers here. I think there's like 5 or 4 of them on the original photo. Just show you them. Oh yeah, you can see them. I decided to give them different coloring because all of them were exactly the same on the photo. They had exactly the same gear, so I wanted them to stand out a little bit and gave them a little bit more color. So these are like the mountainside. I'm not even sure where is that. I just found it on free photos website and decided to paint it because I never painted anything like it. I really like this mountain over here, and I think people did turn out pretty cool. I don't like this part here. I think it looks like a blob of nothingness. I might be wrong. Who knows? But overall, I really like it and enjoy painting it. Next is my acrylic painting. Surprise, surprise. I tried to paint a little wave that following a tutorial on YouTube, but the thing is about acrylics that I had a wrong type of white because I didn't know any better. I did my shopping, got some colors, but hey, I did some painting of some objects before that, and I had like a white paint. So what should I buy a new one? And the paint that I had was a mixing white. So and it behaves slightly differently than a normal white paint, because the normal white paint, if you mix it, it lightens up the paint and how do you say, dilutes the pigment in it. And the mixing one was just taking out the saturation, and it was horrible experience, and it didn't turn out anything like I wanted, and it looks like this. Some of you might say, oh, it's still pretty good, Michael, and it looks pretty okay, but I'm not happy with it. What I'm happy only with the speckles that I did, and the wave here is just horrible, and I'm not really happy about it. So yeah, never use a mixing white paint. Use titanium white. It'll turn out much better. And to prove that, I have another painting which is like a midnight. I also followed a YouTube video, I don't know how to call it even, like midnight mountains with some forest, so it looks like this. I think it's by Emily McKee, so you can look her up on the YouTube. she's a very cool person. She did a lot of tutorials on YouTube, and you can follow her painting tutorials. They're very easy to follow, and I did it on my first try, and I was quite happy about it. So it has a little moon here and a little pink sky with darker mountains and some even darker forest, and in the foreground you have a few trees which I painted for the first time in my life, and they turn out pretty cool, I think. So yeah, I was really happy about it, so that encouraged me to push with acrylics a little bit more. And yeah, so I did what I did next. I did next Phangya Bay in Thailand. This is a photo that I found, and I first time in the history I put the date when I did it. I did it in June, 15th of June last year, and this is a painting that I'm really proud of, and I really like how it turned out. So this is how it looks, and the colors are really saturated. This is the first time I've used the Schminke paint set, so as you can see the colors are phenomenal, and they are very saturated, and I really like the outcome. As you can see, I left some blank spaces here to imitate the highlights, and I was really enjoying myself. This is kind of sketching that I enjoy, because you use the fine liner to do the outlines, and you do the actually you use the pencil to put the image in, and you do the fine liner, and usually the watercolor, if you have good permanent fine liners, the watercolor doesn't even touch it, so the lines just stay here, and it looks really very like how do you say it, it looks like a picture, a nice picture, like I'm not sure like how to explain it, but I really like it. It looks like comic a little bit with the outlines, and I really like it. This is one of the first paintings that I did that I really was proud of, and yeah, that turned out really good. But as you can see here, my tape was leaking upwards, and the water was just getting under the tape, so it looks a little bit rigged, but whatever, it is what it is. So the next painting that I did, it's a little patch of bluebells that I found on the internet. I painted them first, but I decided that they need a little bit of background because the page looks a little bit bare. So I did it on 18th of June, and this is how they look like. They're really beautiful. I think I did my best, and the flowers are so tiny and small. It was really hard to capture all of them, so I had to remove some of the little flowers and paint less of them because it was just too many of them. But I think I put like 3 hours or 4 into this painting because there was just too many details, and I really like how they turn out. Yeah, and the background wasn't that bad, and yeah, I really like it. They have like nice highlighter outline, which I like, and yeah, they're pretty cool. If you can, yeah, this is how they look up close. They're not perfect because I yet I never seen a perfect painting. Maybe some of people are doing like hyper realistic painting, which I never did, and probably I never will, because I don't have a patience for that. Second of all, I don't have a skill, because you have to be very good at it. Okay. So the next painting that I did, it was previously mentioned a painting that I did when I was on the site. So I was very excited to get my little Inktense set and take my water, take my brush, and just go on the side, sketch, and paint it. So as you can see, the greens are not as saturated as I would like, but overall I'm really happy with how it turned out. And it's North Landing Beach in UK. It's It's up north, slightly on the north side of the England. So this is how it looks like. The weather was phenomenal. There was a lot of bunch of people just playing here and just splashing the water, having a swim, just kayaking. But I didn't want to include any people. I just wanted the scenery, and I really like it. I'm not really happy about this green area on those cliffs, but overall, with I think it turned out pretty cool, and it represents the area pretty well. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. I like it. It could use a nice. It could be a nice postcard if I just scan it and just uh, cut the edges a little bit better. But yeah, it was really fun thing to paint, just being there, and people were coming up to me because it was before the pandemic really started, so people were not afraid to come up to me and just ask me a few questions. What am I doing? What I'm doing here? So I showed them I'm painting a little picture, a little landscape picture. So yeah, it was really fun. I have good memories at that place, and as you can see, I torn a little bit of paper here on the edge because I used the other type of tape and it was holding too much and I ripped it. So yeah, that's sad. And it leaked. Moving on. This is the painting that I'm not really proud of. It lacks depth and it looks awful. And I wouldn't even show you this, guys, but most of my paintings I'm quite proud of and I really like them, but you have to be prepared to fail from time to time because that's unavoidable. And this is the pond slash lake that is not very far from my place where I live, and I did it on the 21st of June. This is how it looks like. The swans are pretty okay, the little beaks, but rest of the painting is not great. Like this. What even is that? I'm not really happy. I was trying to learn how to paint water because this is like my weakest point to paint a good you know um, little pond or a river or any like you know aquatic vessel. Yeah, but this is how it looks like. It is horrible. Close your eyes and imagine something more beautiful and better. I'm really sorry. That if you need a bleach to put a few drops in your eyes, go ahead. I'll wait. Or holy water, maybe. I don't know. Whatever you believe in. Okay, moving on. This is another painting that I was quite happy about, and it was taken in Whitby, UK, and I did the painting on the 24th of June. As you can see, I did a lot of painting in June. uh, this was on the same day that we've been on the previous painting on the beach. I was painting there. I just took a nice photo on the deck, uh, on the pier. I was just lying down on the pier and snap a picture, and I really like how it turned out. Um, and I really like the line work that I did on the wood, because you can say that okay, yeah, this is definitely some boards and um, on the pier, and the fencing is okay. There's a little fisherman over there and a little kind of silo or whatever that is, but this is how it looks like. And I really like it. It is pretty good painting. I don't know if you can see it all. Yeah, you can see. I like the sky. I like the pier, and I don't really like this yellow thingy on the railway here. I don't know what happened there. So I think I did something to it, and it was just yellow throughout this, to towards the middle of it. So I said, okay, let's just do it as as I intended it to be. So I had to paint it yellow, like all of it yellow, so it doesn't stand out too much. So yeah, but I was really happy. There's a little fisherman over here. Yeah, I'm really happy about it, and most of my friends that I showed it to were also quite happy. So yeah, I did a thing. Next, the next painting was an enchanted flower that I did, and it was to prepare myself to paint a picture for my friend from Indonesia. And I thought that I will, because I wanted to paint her something nice that she can hang, and I thought that like a little scene, woodland scene would be a nice thing. So I did just that, and this is how it looks like. I really like how this turned out. There's a little enchanted flower in the middle. In the painting that I sent her, there's like a little Japanese shrine, and there's little creatures running around, like little inhabitat, little ghosts or yokai or whatever you want to call them, just inhabiting the area. And this is the precursor of it. This is how it looks like. Yeah, it took me a few hours to finish it actually, but I really enjoyed it. If you go down to my Instagram, you can see the painting that I did after this, um, and you can see some time lapse if you are interested in those, how I did my that painting. But yeah, I really enjoyed this scene, and I think it's one of my favorites that I did. Oh my gosh, I look horrible. You have to excuse my hair, because state of my hair. Uh, I should wash it today. The reason why I haven't done that yet, because I want to exercise first, and it's also too long. I'm desperately in need to go to the barber, but the problem in UK that we have right now, that everything is closed and you cannot go anywhere. You cannot go to buy new clothes. You cannot. Everything is on lockdown. You cannot go to the barber. You cannot go to the dentist except for emergencies. You shouldn't go to your to see your doctors. Everything is done through the phone. Um, Most services is closed. I cannot buy a new floss, and normally they have only collection point, which is okay, better than nothing, but I would rather go there and maybe find a new kit. I want to buy a proper kit, maybe something bigger and full coverage, just start it off and progress it throughout the year and probably finish in December or early next year. But I cannot do that, and I don't want to buy something from the internet uh, this big and not even see how many colors it has. Well, you can technically read about it online, right? But it's hard for me to choose something, because online you have this vast collection of things, and maybe I'd rather go physically to the shop and pick something that I will love and I will love to stitch. But that's a complaint that I have at the moment. But I know this is necessary. I work in healthcare, and if we don't follow the rules, it will just get worse, and probably pandemic will never end at this point. And we have to do whatever we can just to end it. That's that segment. And this is the bit that I pieced out together with different images that I saw, um, on the internet. I tried to put them together into one image. And this is my original per se. This is a tombstone with a little sakura tree per se in shape of the heart, and it was quite. This piece is quite. It doesn't have like deeper meaning behind it or personal meaning behind it, but I wanted to express um, a little bit struggle to find your someone, to find your better half, to find someone that you could like, you could love, and get the same feelings in return. So I named it "And the Love Said No," and I made it on the 29th of June 2020, and this is how it looks like. This is done with schminke, I hope. Yeah, I think this is done with schminke. This is a little tombstone with broken heart. This is a heart-shaped sakura and a nose. You can tell the story what happened there. This is a little charm on the tree to prevent like the bad spirits of releasing, I guess. And this is on the heel. You have some sky. You have some background hills. Yeah, I quite really like it actually. And you've got like some petals of the flowers just falling down. Probably can. Oh yeah, yeah, you can pick it up. So yeah, I really like it, and I should actually add some flowers near the tombstone just to see that they're collecting there. But whatever. I spent like 2 or 3 hours maybe painting it, and I really like the outcome. I know it could be improved much better if I had, because this is made like with a paintbrush. If I had like a sponge, I could give a little bit more texture to the tree. I bought the sponge later and I never used it actually, but I have like 2 or 3 sponges which I can use for my painting. Yeah, so this is how it looks like. Let me just put it closer for you guys to see. Yeah, yeah, I really liked it, and we are, I think, more than halfway there. And this is white. It's hard for me to say this word, this name of the bird. It's white-browed tit warbler bird. It's probably from China, but this is the first animal that I ever did, and it could look better. To be fair, from the scale from 1 to 10, I would say it is a 6.5 maybe. So it's not terrible. And I found a picture on the internet, and I really wanted to paint it. And it sits on a little like a spiky branch with red leaves, and it could be much better, but it is what it is. This is how it looks like. The bird had a very nice bright and distinguished color, so I really wanted to paint it. I really like how the his beak and eye turned out, but the rest of the colors they're like just splattered there. They are not like cohesive, like integrated part of the bird. So if you can see, it just like, looks weird and awkward. But yeah, this is the tit. I just really wanted to draw a tit. Oh my gosh. And next piece is, I found it on the internet. Surprise. Because this is not something that I would catch on the wild. This is like a frog or toad. I think it's frog. Toads cannot swim, right? So it is a frog in a pond, and it has like a little butterfly sitting on it. And I did it. This is not right, right? It says that I did it on the 8th of June, but it is probably 8th of July. I just put June for some reason. I'm pretty sure it's July. So we're moving in July. So what I really like about it, I really like the water effects and the background. Also, the butterfly is pretty detailed, I guess. that's a plus. So this is how it looks like. Yeah, so you can probably see all of those images if you really want to on my Instagram, but this is more interactive and I can talk a little bit about the pieces. So yeah, this is how it looks like, and yeah, it's not bad. The the eyes are a little crooked a little bit. Yeah, this is how he looks, and it could be worse, it could be better, but this is like a 6.5, another 6.5, I guess, out of 10. The next one is Water Lily, and I was quite happy with it, and I'm still quite happy with it. I did some splatter work with some brush and just using my thumb to splatter some colors on it, concentrated colors, and I really like the coloring, like yellows and pinks and blues on it. I did it on the 9th of July 2020, and I found a picture on the internet. I find most of my pictures on the internet, but I always use the free images because you shouldn't paint anything that first of all isn't yours or it's stolen from somewhere. So this is how she looks, and I really like it. As I said, the colors are very nice and very colorful and very beautiful. Um, I did my best here. The reason why I decided to paint this and the frog is because I wanted to work on my water and you know my ponds and you know how do you say like water sources or whatever. Never mind. You know what I mean. Sorry, I'm not native English speaking person, so I still learn and I forget some of the words and sometimes I substitute them with something that it's not really fitting. And sometimes I'm just lost and I cannot find a correct word that I want to use. So I'm still expanding my vocabulary and it's not something that you can learn overnight. So please bear with me. This is also one of the reasons that you know, I started this channel to speak a little bit more in English, to expand my vocabulary. But whatever. Enough of my rambling. Let's just enjoy the little lily pad. No, it's not a pad. It's just a little lily flower pad. Is nowhere near. Yeah, I really liked it. I've actually been there. I've been there in this place. It's Lotus Lake in Thailand, and they only are blooming in November. And in November they had this light festival that they throw the lanterns up in the air, and there are like thousands of them swarming the night sky. We've been there, we've seen that, we've joined it. And this is the Lotus Lake. It was on the other end of Thailand. We had to drive 12 hours to get there, and we got there around 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. We had 2 hours of nap or three, and we had to go really early in the morning to catch them opening up. I have some pictures on my phone of it and on my computer. Maybe I will post it or not. I don't know. Probably not because I hate editing. Ugh. If I if I think I have to edit something, I just like I will probably not make the video. Maybe someday if I have more time on my hands, I will throw some production value into this channel. But I just want to show off my things, show off my stuff that I made. So coming back to the lotuses. So yeah, we had to go there very early and hire a boat. The price are quite fixed, and they fluctuate a little bit, going up and down. Depends on the person if they like you or not. But they only go like in full bloom for about an hour or two, and they close up again because it's too hot over there. So if you want to see them, you have to get up very very early. And I hated driving there because I was the second driver, so I drove for the 6 hours. I think we are doing 3 hour swaps, so I drive for 3 hours and the other person drive for three, and we just exchange because you can have only two drivers on the insurance. Or maybe you can have more, but you have to pay a lot more for insurance. Whatever. We did a lot of driving over there, so pretty mandatory was having two drivers there. And I got my ticket there for parking. So to be fair, every single tropical country I've been there in, I got a ticket from. In Morocco that I've been there, I've been to Morocco once and I got ticket for speeding. And in Thailand, I got a ticket for parking in wrong spot. It was quite funny. Oh, the stories! Oh my gosh. I can talk you about. I can tell you about the Thailand thing. So it was on the night that we wanted to see the festival of the light, and just we bought some lanterns, and we wanted to light them up and just throw them with other people, because it is such a big holiday over there, an event. There was a lot of people coming to that town, like swarming the town, and it was very hard to find a parking spot. We had a hotel booked, but the entrance to the hotel was occupied by other cars standing on the street, so we couldn't get in, right? So we had to leave the car nearby, and it was a valid parking spot, but during this holiday festival, you could only park for few hours or during the certain hours. So the next day that we woke up, we found a ticket and a clamp on our wheel. So it was rough. We waited for like 2 hours because on the ticket it said, we called because we had the leaflets from the airport with like contact numbers if anything happens. So we called the police, like international Thai police or whatever, and they told us that they will send someone over to help us. So it took like 2 or 3 hours us sitting there waiting for this person to come in and check the driver's license, get us to the station. We paid for it and come back. And no, I think it took about an hour for the person to come in. Yeah, it took an hour for the person to get into the motorcycle, give us the ticket, take us to the. We had to take a. No, I'm saying it right. Everything is wrong. I'm not. Scrap that. Let's just start over. So we got the ticket in the morning, and this little Thai lady that was running the hotel told us what to do. We took a taxi, drove there, paid for the ticket, came back because they told me, oh, someone within a few minutes or an hour will show up and take the clamp off, and we are ready to go on our merry way, right? And we were waiting there for 2 hours, so we then decided to call this Thai police, like this, it was like tourist-friendly police, and we've been just mad because we were waiting here for an hour and something, and no one is showing up. So they chased up the case, and someone after like half an hour later just showed up on the motorcycle, just took out the clamp, checked my driver's license, and we went on our merry way. This is how it went. Sorry for misleading you guys, but it was 2018 November or something like that, or yeah, it was November 2018. Oh, it was so long time ago. I can't believe it was 3 years ago. Can you imagine? 3 years ago you've been able to travel, and now you're here. And I have 2 weeks of holiday coming up March, and we are during lockdown. So I'm literally staying with my boyfriend at his place, asking my neighbors to water my plants, and hoping that they will not kill them, because bonsais outside have to be freaking watered every 2 days, like religiously at the moment. During the summer it has to be every day in the morning. So yeah, we cannot go anywhere. We have only so many movies to watch. I'm taking my paintings, this little painting set with me. and also some cross stitching. So I will do that. I will get some extra stuff for cross stitching to start the frogs. If you haven't seen the frogs, I'm sending you to my first or the second floss tube. And yeah, it'll be a rough time because there's only so many things that you can do. If I had my PC there, I also probably play some games, but thankfully I have my Switch, which I can take, and we will try to organize this time somehow, going like a small trips nearby to the woods, to the forest, because you cannot travel far, or because if they will catch you, you get in trouble and you have to pay money. So we'll have to find some interesting things to do, and I don't know. We'll have to figure something out, or these 2 weeks. Basically, those 2 weeks are go down the drain. I think this is the time when I will do the most of my cross stitching throughout this year, and not only because I want to, but also from the sheer boredom. Because you cannot go anywhere. I wanted to go and visit my parents in Poland, but it's not going to happen. I cannot afford to stay on quarantine, so it's not happening. So they have to wait yet probably another year for me to visit them, or if they will lift the lockdown in June, maybe after that I'll be able to see them, but I don't know. It's just such a tough year, and 2020 wasn't easier. We shall see. It's a learning process. Hopefully, with the vaccination, everything will end quick enough for me to enjoy my other holidays, which is a week in May. Again, I cannot do anything. I will probably try to move it because I cannot have 2 holidays when I'm just sitting on my 4 letters or 3 letters. 4 letters are in Polish and 3 letters are in English, and doing nothing. Okay, back to my painting. And the next painting I will show you, it's not my best. To be honest, it's not even my worst, but it's not my best. It's not even out there. It's like four and a half, 4.5 out of 10, and it's done on the 11th of July. It's a dragonfly on the gets a little bit of grass on the blade of the grass. Yeah, so it is not the best, not perfect. I tried to use some masking tape in it, and I think I applied it too thickly, and this is like a more finer work, I would say. Maybe the subject that I tried to paint is too small for me to grasp it properly, but I'm not really happy how it turned out, but whatever, it is what it is. It's a learning process again. This is how it looks like. Not the worst, not the best, but it could be definitely better. There's always room for improvement. As you can see, with this is like prime example that you don't have to be a Picasso, you don't have to be a Leonardo da Vinci or Michelangelo to paint pictures. You can. This is your sketchbook. You can try things in it. You not all of it has to be a masterpiece. You can have mistakes like this, or the pond that I showed you earlier, because no one has to see it. This is your private stuff. And next painting I did on the 12th of July. It is a wild strawberry. It's okay. What else I can say about it? It's okay. It's nothing extraordinary. It's just a wild strawberry on the background. That's it. It could be more shiny, but actually the wild strawberries are really not as shiny as strawberries. They're a little bit more textury, and they don't have this little signature shine, but it's okay. It is what it is. I'm not... I just turned the page and I laughed. This bad boy, this ostrich. I painted an ostrich, and I don't know, it turned out looking pretty mean. I tried to do the outwards fur that goes out of his hair with like wild, this little white Jerry Roll, white Sakura 0.8 pen, but it's not working very well to be fair, and I will probably have more luck with Posca pen, but I bought it after this was done, so whatever. So this is the mean boy, the mean beaky boy, ostrich. This is how it looks like. He's very mean. Look at his eye. It's just like, I'm gonna. I just wanted to say something bad. I'm sorry. Yeah, but this, I'm gonna beak you. I'm gonna poke your head or whatever. This bad boy here, yeah, he's very mean. Yeah, but I really liked painting him. I think it looks pretty okay. Surprisingly, I don't know. I don't know why, but I like it. It's an ostrich. Who doesn't like ostriches? Probably someone that was trampled by one, but whatever. The next painting was done after I bought some inks. So I bought this shiny metallic silver and metallic gold ink that I wanted to try. So I painted a golden retriever, and what goes with golden retriever very well, a golden shiny metal paint. So I give him like a little squiggle around his eye, and yeah, it turned out okay-ish. I'm not hating it, if you can see. Little golden retriever. I don't know if you can see the golden paint, probably. Oh, there we go. Look at that. The shine. I really like those inks. I will probably try to draw something solely with inks, but I have only a few of them. I have white, because I thought maybe if the jelly roll pen is not working well, maybe I should try to use white ink. Maybe that will work a little bit better. I bought classic black ink and this golden and silver, so I have 4 in total. This is not a lot, and this will not help me with painting anything, but I can use the ink to do the outline. If I use a fountain pen, I can do that, or use the paintbrush to paint with it, but I don't know. I don't feel that it'll work pretty well. I don't have enough colors to start this off. I could use the black and dilute it, so I have shades of gray, but I did, I think I have one painting with shades of gray, but it's in my new sketchbook. So yeah, the golden retriever, that was the very last painting that I did on the 16th of July 2020, and that has that's it. That's all, folks. This is my first sketchbook that I did. I keep it. I will never sell it. I will never burn it. It will stay with me forever, because it shows what I did during the peak of pandemic, well, let's say, and it will be always with me somewhere in the closet, and hopefully I will, at the end of the year, end of my life, I'll have stockpile of them, so people will get through them and have a look what I have accomplished, what I've been doing throughout my life, and probably burn them after. Wow, that was dark. Okay, I'll leave you with that. If you want to pick up painting, there's plenty of tutorials on the internet, on the YouTube. What should you get? With what painting you should start off. In my opinion, it's cheapest way to start painting is acrylics. Cheapest, and it's easy to clean up and mess free pretty much, if you know what you are doing. All you need is a sketchbook like that, a handful of paints. You don't need a lot of colors. You just need 2 shades of what would I recommend? 2 shades of red, 2 shades of blue, black if you really want it, white is very important, and what else? Yellow, and I think that's it. That's all you need. So you need very rich red, you want magenta, you want cyan, you want this dark ultramarine, you want white, you want yellow, like primary yellow, and black or white. I don't remember which I. So it's like 7 paints, and that's it. You can start up. Each paint it costs like £3 or something, and you can use cheap synthetic brushes. There's nothing wrong about that. You don't even need an easel. You just need some mixing area, and you just go your merry way, and you just paint whatever you want, and you can accomplish a lot with it. You don't need anything fancy, really, trust me. So if you want to start painting, just get your supplies, get your paper, get your thicker paper, to be fair. If you want to use boards are great. You can buy a bunch of them on the internet, or if you want to use like canvas, you can do that. I never painted on canvas. I have one that came with my easel because I really like easels, so I like to paint on it. But you don't have to have it. It's not mandatory. What I'm trying to say. So yeah, I'm just been babbling about painting, whatever. It's an hour and 11 minutes long video, so I feel like I should wrap it up, and I will probably see you next week in my third floss tube video. I will show you the updates and hopefully new start. I don't know yet if I'll find time to start it, because I'll try to get the supplies. If not on the third, on the fourth, definitely we will start the frogs, because I will try to get the floss in the beginning of March. And it takes some few days to get that here, because they have to complete your order, pick up the flosses and whatever. I could start on Friday, to be fair, but I don't want to buy overpriced floss in Hobbycraft, which one strand, like one, I don't even know how do you call them, like you know what I mean, like one of those little thingies that it comes in. It costs £1, so I rather use some other websites and pay like 60 pence for it, which is still a lot, but you know, it's more affordable. You can buy a lot more for the same amount of money. But yeah, tell me what you think about it. If you want to see more of it in the future, if I decide to post, to paint a little bit more and show off my other sketchbook, or I should just keep doing my cross stitching, and after eventually when I will finish my other sketchbook, just show it to you guys like I have now as a bonus video. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. You can find me on Instagram. I will put the link down below. And have a lovely day or night, or get some coffee or tea, and if you are just waking up and just listening to that mumbling. Drink some water, and stay safe and take care. Bye. Just